dream car fails, which made it to production. As you know, safety is one of the most important thing. That's why automotive manufacturers provide us seat belts, airbags, and many different features to protect ourselves in an event of crash. But these cars escaped in another way. Suzuki Celerio's brake failure. Imagine yourself driving the Celerio at 80 miles an hour and you try to brake the car, but the car doesn't slow down. Holy shit, you're all gonna die. What am I gonna do? So this is what happened to an autocar journalist when they tested the car under safety condition, and yet the report was that during an emergency stop test from 80 miles an hour under controlled conditions at the Millbrook Proving Ground, the Celerio's brake failed entirely with the brake pedal remaining in the fully depressed position and having no effect on the car's speed. So this is what I have given the name for the Suzuki Celerio. If you want to ride me, it's death time. So if you buy me, if you want to commit suicide at 80 kilometers an hour. Ford Pinto's exploding fuel tank. The Ford Pinto was made to rivalry the Japanese car which most of the youngsters bought, but there was a general problem with the Ford Pinto. If any car rear-ended the Ford Pinto, it had a tendency for having a broken tank. So what happened is that whenever the car crashes, the tank explodes, like all the fuel turns into fire. So this is what happened here when they tested the car when the car is being rear-ended. The Ford Pinto catches on fire. You can see here, see this video. This was tested by Euro NCAP, I think. So yeah. So in the testing we can clearly see just for rear ending, a rear collision can set the car on fire. This is life threatening, people. That's why. So but one more good thing is that Ford knew this problem, by the way, and they kept this problem alive for 2 to 3 years, and then they recalled most of the cars. Yeah, see this guy, he can't even open the door. Then how would you imagine to escape? It's like you can't escape. Even the doors don't open. See, even in a collision, the doors don't open. Like it's getting stuck, like nobody can get out. How will you get out if there's a fire? You have to die then. What? This is a major situation. That's why they recall this car. See here, just for a collision. See, lots of fuel. Oh god, this is really bad. This is really bad, and thank god they changed this. Then, as you know, it explodes into fire. GM's faulty ignition switches. This right over here, this spring loaded thing is the D10 plunger. This is what caused a whole problem. The 5.99mm is the before recall version of the spring, and the 12.2mm is the after recall. See, there's a big difference, and these are some of the cars which got recalled. It's just because of this tiny switch issue. See, even a small default can cause a recall. 28 million cars has been recalled overall by GM. Toyota's unintentional acceleration by floor mats. So you know, most of the Toyota drivers don't accelerate unintentionally. Yeah, but this was happened because of floor mats. But some cars had a tendency for having their accelerator pedal stuck. Porsche 918 suspension fails. If you buy one of the sought after hypercar, you really wanted to test it in the track or drive it so fast as much as you can in a track, maybe both of those. But yeah, if you do that, you're gonna cost a whole lot of money. This is all caused by a control arm on the rear suspension. This breaks under racing condition as well as the fastness in the front. Simple fire caused by glue in a 458. If you buy any car in the US, it has to have a latch. If anybody gets smuggled or kidnapped and they've been placed in the trunk, they can open this latch and get out of the car. But this latch failed in the 458, so that was a recall made, and another recall was made for the wheel liners. This is because the glue in the wheel liner gets melted and flows to the engine. Because of that heat, the wheel liners used to catch on fire. These fires spread down very quickly and burned the car. So more than 4,000 458s were fixed with nuts and bolts instead of the tape. Now let's see some cars which failed in the ALP test. Technical valves. These automotive group test cars for their stability when they are being deviated from a path, like when there is an obstacle and they have to immediately deviate and go around it. So this type of test is called as Moose test. Benz A-Class 1997. Yeah, this car overturned the test. You can see right away. See, it just overturned, and that's not good. So it was not good, and it wasn't approved either. And the second test, when they tested the cars at the second time, you can see the driver exhausted, by the way. So yeah, in the second test you can see the car is getting overlapped, like it just does a wheelie like Ken Block. But yeah, the car is in Ken Block, and no Ken Block uses this car. But yeah, this car is a fail. Toyota Hilux 2016. The Toyota Hilux 2016 was also a major failure because you can see the car even at 37 miles an hour it trips off. Let's see the play again. 37 miles it trips off again. Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Jeep Grand Cherokee also couldn't stabilize this test, but yeah, this was a previous model, and Jeep got the information for the first test, and Jeep told to change those variations. So yeah, technical faults they did it and they tested again, but still they got the same test, and at the third time they tested differently because Jeep Chrysler loaded the car with 470 kilos, which they recommended with one driver and four adults. They tested with full weight and full package and everything. And you could see, but still it did try to trip off and it wasn't good still yet. You can see this clip again, and third time it busted multiple tires, and yeah, the magnet actually is in a car production, but yeah, it loses grip and most of the time crashes into the crowd.